Hello and welcome to this tutorial. My name's Siobhan, I'm from Business GT, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use the sales funnel in Business GT. So I'm going to cover a few things. The first thing is viewing outstanding work, so seeing all of the tasks that you have in the system outstanding. Then we're going to go into adding work into the funnel, and we can do that in a couple of ways. Completing work within the funnel, so sending an email or using Skype to call someone. Recording completed work, so if you've done work outside of the system, making sure that's recorded in there, as well as scheduling future work so that you always keep in contact with your contacts. So I'm going to go into my system. So I'm already logged into my system, and the first thing I'm going to do is view my outstanding work. So I can do this in a few different places. So first I'm going to go to the control panel, which is in the app menu in the top right of your screen, and then it's the bottom right icon. And this is where you can do most of the important things in Business GT, including if you look in the existing customers and potential customers sections, you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, future activities. So I've got 3. So if I click the list future work button just next to it, you can then see I get a quick list of items that are either overdue, so I've got 2 overdue items. I can see I've got 7 due this month, none next month, and none in the next 2 months either. So that's just a way of seeing at a glance, you and your whole team, what's coming up. For a bit more detail, we'll go into the sales funnel itself. So we're going to use the app menu again and click the funnel icon. So this is where you'll be managing your kind of customer relationships. So you can see at the top here, we've got it split by funnel. So in this example, we've got potential customers, existing customers, and projects. Now, if you are unsure how to set up your funnels, if you watch the Getting Started tutorial, I go into some detail there and show you how to get both funnels and statuses set up. This main table here is made up of the statuses that I have set up previously, as well as some priorities down the side. So it forms a grid with all of my outstanding work numbered in the middle. So if I were to click on one of these items, so let's see a call that I've got, so a high priority call. If I click on that number 1, I can then see the calls that I have there. So I can see in a bit more detail. So I can see who they are. I can click to see their history or just hover over it. When I'm supposed to contact them. Which user, so obviously if you're viewing multiple people's sales funnels, you'll be able to differentiate between users. The status, priority, and at the moment, the likelihood of that contact becoming a paying customer. So this is where we could see our outstanding work. We can also view it in our own personal calendar. So using the app menu, I'll click the calendar icon, which will then open up my calendar. And straight away, it's already recognizing me as a user and showing me my own calendar. So if I scroll down a bit, you can see some of the outstanding work that I've got. Obviously split into a calendar format, so I can see day by day. I've got the time and the contact company. I can then hover over that for a bit more detail. So those are the 3 different ways that we can view outstanding work. Now, as a new user, you're not going to have outstanding work in there, so we need to know how to get more work into the funnel. And again, you can do that in a couple of different ways. So we're going to go to the sales funnel. And there's a tab here called Get More Work. Now, so the Get More Work tab is if you want to add more than one work item to the sales funnel all in one go. We can also use the button over here on the left called New Thread if we just want to start a new thread of conversation with just one contact. Now, what I'm going to do first is show you the Get More Work bit, and I'm actually going to use the wizard to do this. So if I click the magic wand in the top right of the corner, that'll open up the wizard menu for me, and you can see that there is a funnel wizard. So this is going to let me get more work. If I click that, now you can see at the top here, I'm being told the different stages of this wizard. So the first thing I'm going to do is check over my funnels and statuses. So you can make any changes you'd like here. So at the top, we've got my funnels, potential customers, existing customers, and projects. And then listed underneath in order are the statuses. Ideally going from cold to hot statuses. So you can see at the top I've got stopped and unsubscribe, moving all the way down to a proposal and then an order. If I want to add any threads or statuses, I can use the green plus icons, and I can also delete from here as well and change the order using these arrows. So when I'm happy that I've got all the funnels and statuses that I need, I'm going to click Save and Continue. And now this page is asking me to select a contact group. So we're going to get more work from a group of contacts already in the system. If you haven't uploaded your contacts, you can also do that from here just by selecting in the contact group dropdown, Upload New Contacts, and that will just guide you through the upload process and allow you to select those contacts as your contact group. For now, I'm going to select this contact group here, existing customers. So this is one that I've already uploaded. I'm going to click that. That will give me a look at how many users are in that contact group. So I've got 50 in there, and I'll click Save and Continue. And here's where I actually allocate the work into someone's sales funnel. So the first thing it's asking me is how many work items. So in this example, I'm going to allocate 25 work items from that group. And then maybe later on, I'll be able to allocate the next 25 items. I choose the user whose sales funnel it's going to go into, so who's going to actually do the work. So I'll leave that as me. I can change the thread. So this is actually an existing customers group. For now, I'm going to show you what it would look like putting them in a potential customers funnel. The status, so I'm going to put these under the call status. So when these 25 work items are put into my sales funnel, I want a prompt to call them. I can then set a priority, so I'll leave that at medium for now. And the likelihood of these contacts becoming a paying customer right at the start. So I'm going to leave that at 3%. And next I'll choose the date to contact. So if I want to delay putting these into the sales funnel, I can do. So I can select to put them in tomorrow, next week, whenever I like. I'm going to leave that at today just so you can see them going in. And once I'm happy with those settings, I'll click Allocate. So straight away you can see it's taken me to my sales funnel, and I can see under the call status, this is where I put those work items. I can see 25 at the medium priority. So those are the ones I've just put in. So those are all in there and ready to start working on. I'll show you how to do that in a little while. The other way that we can add work into the sales funnel is one by one. So if you don't want to do a big upload and stick them in people's funnel, you can just do it one at a time. So if we click New Thread in the top left, so this is a new thread of conversation. We can then do a search of all the contacts in our system using the search function here. Or if this is a completely new contact, we can click Add New User on the right-hand side. And that will just open up this window here where we can fill out their details, click Save, and then we can select to start work with them. So I'm going to choose an existing contact. So I'll click on the S to show, to sort them by last name. So last names beginning with S. And then I'll find my contact and click Select. So I'm ready to start working on this contact. And this then leads into the recording work page. So I'm actually ready to start recording work now. I cannot actually complete work from this page. So rather than having to complete work outside of the sales funnel or outside of the system entirely and then record the work, I can do it right from this page. So for example, in the top left here, we've got all of the company information for this contact. So you can see their name, company, and their phone number. And next to their phone number, you'll see the Skype icon. Now, if you click this, it will open up Skype for you and automatically dial that phone number there, so that you can actually record work, complete work within the system. You can also send an email from this page. So if this work item was under, to email, you can do that from here. So you can either send a quick one-off email, And I'm going to do that by clicking these arrows here on the right-hand side of the page, which will then pop up this message box. I'm going to tick here where it says brief email. And now you can see, so at the top of the page, I've got the details for this piece of work. So I'm going to set the user as myself because it's me doing the work. I've got the funnel is correct. The status is going to be email because I'm emailing them below in here. The priority, I'll stick that as medium, likelihood 3% again. And I can then CC another contact in. You can see it's already put in that contact's email address here. I can put the subject line here, and I'll type my email in this big text box here. So once I've actually completed work, I've got a choice to make. So I can either send this email and record this piece of work with no future work, or I can send it with future work. So if someone has said, absolutely, no, I'm not interested in your services, and there's just no way that you're going to progress, you can send this email with no future work, and they'll then be taken out of your sales funnel and won't show up again unless you later on add them in. But what we're going to do is send with future work, because once we've completed this work item, we want to follow up so that we put a work item in the sales funnel at a later date so we can keep that line of conversation going. So I'm not going to send an email from here at the moment, but you can do. I'm going to close that and show you how to record work on this main page here. So I'm going to pretend that I've just called this contact. So the contact date was today. I'll leave that as it is. It was me who completed the work. The funnel is correct. They're potential customers. The status, I'll put that as call. I've just made that call. Medium priority, 3% likelihood. And I can also now set the potential value. So if in that phone call I've, for example, had a conversation, they want a website built, and that's looking to be about £1,000, then I can put that in there. And what those two settings, the likelihood and potential value, let you do later on is look at the value of all of the work in your pipeline, and it will be weighted according to the likelihood. So for example, this value here would be 3% of £1,000. So I'm also going to record a brief comment in this box here just to kind of fill in some details about what went on in that call. So let's pretend that this contact asked for an email with more information. So called contact asked for email info regarding a website build. And because I want to set up future work, I'm going to click confirm with future work, this green button here. And this page here, you'll notice it's slightly changed color. We're now on the green version of this page, which means we're setting up future work. So I'm going to say that I'm going to send that follow-up email tomorrow. So I'll change the date. I can set a contact time. So I'll do that first thing. I'll do that at 9 o'clock. I now also have the option, if I have more than one user in my system, I can pass this over to another user. So if, for example, I want James to email this contact, I can select that, and that will then go into his sales funnel rather than mine. So it's a good way of managing teamwork as well as just your own. We'll set the status to email because that's what we're going to be doing next. The priority, I'll make that a high priority. This content might be starting to look a bit warmer now, so the likelihood, I'll bump that up to 10%. And I'll also let James know a bit more details. So they're looking for a simple website, for example. I'll confirm that. And that work has now been recorded, and also the future work has been set up and put in James's sales funnel. So if I change the filter at the top here and show you James's sales funnel, I'll also change the date to include tomorrow, because at the moment it only includes, by default, it includes the last 3 months worth of work. I'll change that to tomorrow. Refresh here, and you can see James now has one work item. That's a high priority email. He'll then be able to click on that number 1 and record work just as I did, and then set up more future work. James can also, when he clicks on history, here, he can see everything that's happened with that contact. So he'll be able to see the work that I recorded as well. We can also, if we go into the recording work page, we can see that history again on the left-hand side, so that when someone is recording work against this contact, they can see what's gone on before as they're completing that work. You'll also see that we have a tab up here, so John Smith. So this is the contact's name. Now, if you were in discussions with more than one person at the same company, you'd see multiple tabs at the top here with each person's name. So it's a good way of not only seeing your own history with a contact, but also whether any of your team have spoken to anyone else in their company, and all the details there as well, so there's no crossed wires. So that's how we record and schedule work in the sales funnel. We can also do that from the calendar. So the calendar is just a slightly different view of the sales funnel, all with the same data, but in a calendar format. So I'm going to make my way to the calendar. And I can record work from this page as well. So you can see here on the 25th, I've got a piece of work to do here. So if I hover over that item, I can see some summary detail. And if I click call, that will just then open up that recording work page. So I can do it all from the calendar if I would prefer. That's where I'm going to wrap up this tutorial for today. If you have any questions about anything I've covered, check out the learning and support section of our website, which is www.businessgrowthtool.co.uk/learning support, or email me at siobhan@businessgt.co.uk. Thank you.